I broke up with my ex to chase my dreams, but I failed. So now I want to get back together.
You know where home at.
This is my first post ever, and English is not my first language, so apologies for any mistakes. No worries, OP. My ex-partner, 43 male, and I, 41 female, met each other 3 years ago and have dated for almost 2. We have, from the beginning, been a long-distance relationship. I met him on Tinder, and in our first date, the second phrase after nice to meet you was, I'm leaving this town soon. The very next day, I was driving to the place that ended up being my home for 2.5 years to have an interview for a job. We kept on dating and having a great time, knowing that I was moving 2 hours away from where he lives. And by the way, this is directly from our subreddit, so it's one of our own.
Our family member.
Our family member, our kin. This is our kin in here. By the way, this comes from Luaz5 on the r/okstorytime subreddit. So I never thought we had a future together, but when everything was ready for me to move, he told me, don't you think that you'll get rid of me that easy? And less than 2 months since our first date, he was helping me move up to this tiny but beautiful town up north. Things were great for almost 2 years. He is the best relationship I've ever had. Traveling for 2 hours every now and then to see each other for maybe 2 days was completely worth it. I was enjoying my new job as I was also building my chances to pursue a stargazer career in the same company. I was living my dream life for the first time in years. The chances of getting closer to one of my childhood dreams was perfect. The first 1.5 years, I couldn't change teams due to the lack of staff in the restaurant where I was the duty manager. But working in afternoon and night hours, it gave me the chance of studying animation online and getting a degree in this country that I'm calling home now. 2023 was a hard year trying to keep up with work, studying, and making time to see my partner. While I was trying to keep up with all of that, my brain started to arrange plans for the future because doing all the things I was doing was not enough. At mid-year, I came up with the brilliant idea of moving to the capital city in 2024 to chase opportunities as an animator or to develop my artistic skills. I have a degree in fine arts from back home. This city is more than 15 hours away driving, including a ferry. And here is where things start to go a bit south. He has 2 boys, years 5 and 3 at the time that we met, and I adore them both. Even when I decided to not have my own kids, I enjoyed being around them. I love to be around kids. I have 6 nibblings. Kids allow me to be the child that I am still in my 40s. That's sweet. Him having kids means that he is not able to move around the country and be as carefree as I am. And that was something that I knew from the beginning, as same as he knew he was dating someone who has decided to chase dreams and opportunities as they arise. I was very upfront from the start that I wasn't moving to his city. There was nothing for me them other than him. I am very sure I heard him a couple of times when friends of his asked me when we were moving in together, and I bluntly stated that I was never moving to his city.
Oh man.
Dang, you gotta say that.
That is pretty tough.
Gotta say that in the right way. I know it sounds rough when I put it that way, but we had a very deep and rough talk about this. I spent my entire life giving up my dreams for others. My last relationship before him left me after 7 years when I decided to stay in this country for him. I wanted to get back home and be around my family and friends. I ended up working for myself for 1.5 years, which is the roughest one of my life. And I met him. In this time, I learned to put myself first. I understood that a partnership, friendship, and family are important, but me and my dreams have to come first. Because every time I put others' needs before mine, I ended up hurting myself and, worst of all, blaming others for that when I was the one making that choice. I learned to be honest with me and others. I understood that to be able to have a happy and fulfilling relationship, you need to be honest about what you can give, and also know that and understand what your partner is able to give. It sounds like they've learned a lot of great lessons, even though the process wasn't very good, but you got there eventually. To make my already long story a bit shorter, we both put all the cards on the table about what we wanted for the future. I wanted to try my luck in the big city and work as an artist. Go you. And at the beginning, he told me he was happy to try an even longer distance relationship, and I was hesitant but happy to give it a try. All changed in one weekend in September. I was so sick and finally decided to take some time off, something I was not able to do because I was the only duty manager manager in the restaurant. I told him that I was not going to work for 5 straight days and that I could go to his house. He has the kids on that weekend, so he could not visit me. He was happy to have me there, even though he knew that I would probably be in bed all the time. After that weekend, I noticed a shift in him. I am very vocal and he is more the quiet type. And he is great with communicating, but sometimes I have to press him to talk. We were video calling and I have asked him a couple of times about his week and what he was up to. In more than an hour long talk, he kept repeating that he has nothing to say until he finally dropped the bomb. He has realized after that weekend that he wanted to live with me full time.
Oh, wow. Moving with you? That's cool.
Whoa.
That's cool.
That, as horrible as it sounds, his words, having me sick and being able to take care of me has made him realize that seeing each other 2 days every other week was not enough for him. We ended up having our first fight. Whoa. But this sounds so sweet though. It sounds like such nice things.
She may feel like she's having to give up more of herself.
Yeah. After some more talking over time, we both have to accept that our plans for life were not aligned. Sometimes love is not enough. And as sad as it was when we ended our relationship, this happened a bit more than a year ago. 2024 has started and gone in the blink of an eye. I went back home to my country to take a good break and to see my family and friends. I've been there for a year for a short time after missing them for more than 4 years. So this time I took a couple of months to enjoy them. I wanted to take my mom to Europe, probably the last trip I will have with her, and use the break to come back strong and plan my move to the big city. My trip came and went. I arrived to this country again and started to organize my moving. What I thought would take me weeks ended up being months of looking for jobs and getting rejected. After 3 months of that dance, I decided to move in anyways. I have landed a casual job and I was sure I could find something else once I move. I've been living here for 2 months and a couple of weeks ago decided to go back to the tiny town I used to live in. My dreams of making it in the big city have crushed me so bad. Nothing went as planned and I cannot keep on waiting on answers from jobs because I'm out of money. I am a complete mess emotionally and financially, feeling like a failure with no one here to cry to.
Dang, that is so tough.
Oh my gosh. Weeks after I moved in, my ex contacted to check on me. We have been texting in the last year to catch up from time to time, always keeping boundaries in place. I put him up to speed that things were not going great here, but I was giving it a try. Maybe a week after I told him that things got more complicated here and that I was thinking of going back to the town I was living in before. We ended up doing a video call. It was the first time in a year that we saw each other again.
Oh, wow.
That's such a long time. After that, we have been talking every other day. He has been a great company in this process. 2 days ago, he asked me if we can talk about us again. My response was that I needed to be in a better place to think about us getting back together. On one hand, I do not want to go back to running to him because I am in a bad place. I am of the belief that if someone is in your life, they are there to add happiness and not to make you happy. Okay, I like that, just as a little extra. You should be happy on your own before entering a relationship. Otherwise, you are making the other person responsible for you, and that is very selfish. By the way, we can always add happiness into your life if you just join us live every weekday, 3 p.m. PST. Just tap our profile.
Boom, boom.
So easy. So, and there's more to the story, but let's discuss this so far.
Some people can handle long distance relationships. Some people can't.
Yeah.
This sounds like a rom-com in a way.
That's just so sad for OP, like having those dreams crushed. I am one with lots of dreams myself, and that would just like be so sad if just you were trying so hard to do everything you could and just like nothing was working. Like I know that there's such a mindset around it, like, you know, don't give up, it's just around the corner, but like that might be true, but doing it is so hard. But in the other hand, I just want to be selfish and run to him right now. I've been crying in my room in the last few days trying to pack up my life and not feel like a failure for chasing my dreams that has taken me to a financial ruin. I am trying to be an adult, but I have called him again yesterday and we have been texting like before when we were dating all day today. So here is where I am, writing this long story to ask strangers what to do. I will be moving back closer to him in a few days, and all I want to do is run into his arms, and all I want is for him to rescue me. This is literally a rom-com.
It really is.
This is so cute. But I know I am not able to give him the life that he wants. I can't settle down in a place that it has nothing to offer me. And I know that even though the city hasn't worked this time, I will try again in the future. I'm divided in half and I do not want to be so selfish, but at the same time, I still love him so much.
It's tough. I say just run back to him, see if he'll take you in. He checked up on you. I think he still has a lot of feelings for
I
you.
think that's the thing. I think she knows that he will take her back if she does run into him. But then that might mean that she doesn't get to live out her dreams.
I think you could still figure out your dreams.
I think you totally can.
I don't like being around people with small minds or being like, you can only do this or your only way to live life is this way.
With limits.
Yeah, with limits.
I think
There's tons of different ways you can live out your dream.
Yeah.
You can explore that. I think you can explore that and also be with the love of your life.